Hi, welcome to my channel, Serving Supernatural. My channel where I tell you about the scary things that happen in my life and in the restaurant I work in. Okay, let's just get right into what brought you here. My restaurant's haunted, and I work in a very large chain restaurant, like one of the largest in America. So it's the last place you would really expect to find a ghost. Who knows? I think we might have more than one. Debatable. And another video. I've been working there about 5 years. I would say not even 6 months into my employment there, one of our employees died, and in the restaurant. I wouldn't say that that's the cause of our restaurant being haunted, but all that activity started after his death. One day, it was Sunday, I was a morning shift and I was leaving for the day, and I crossed paths with this employee. I said hi to him, he said hi to me, he was good friends with my best friend, very kind man. I do my business to close out and leave. I do leave and come to see a ambulance in the back, and I texted my best friend and I was like, what's going on, what happened? And he texted me back that that employee had died. It affected everybody in the restaurant. It was a hard time for everybody. Everybody was so close to this man. He was wonderful, generous, worked 2 jobs to support his family. This is in good nature. Let me get into some of the experiences that my coworkers and I have had. My first experience with this entity, whether it be this employee or not, I'm a bartender there. We open the restaurant at 11 a.m. so the bartender gets there at 9 to prep the fruit. I was walking to the back to go into the fridge to get my fruit. There's a little window on the door, and I wanted to check through the window to make sure nobody was coming through and wasn't gonna hit me in the face. So I peeked through and I did see someone walk by. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited, but no one. So I went through, and come to find, there's nobody in there. Now keep in mind, I do wait until everybody goes on break so I can go cut my fruit, because I like to live my life in peace and alone. There shouldn't have been anybody back there, and I knew that. I was baffled. I was really? I definitely saw somebody. I was so sure that I saw somebody that I was checking under the shelves, waiting for somebody to pop out and scare me, but nothing. So I walk back up to the front and I run into my coworker. She's also into kind of creepy things, so I was like, hey, this just happened to me, and I start to tell her the story. Okay, keep in mind, we're the only 2 people in this kitchen, and about 15 feet away from us, there are these little bags. They're little aluminum bags that we put bread in, and they just start off the shelf while I'm telling her this story, and both of us were just kind of weird. So I walk up to it and I kind of try to debunk it. Can I make this happen? How did this happen? Did a breeze come through? There's nobody else back there. I couldn't recreate it. Speaking of the bar, I swear that these bottles on the shelves behind me moved. It started on one shelf, and I would notice that it would just slightly move over to the side throughout my shift. You could even see, because the shelves get really dusty, you could see the drag marks in the dust. Not like somebody was picking it up and putting it back, because we don't even use those bottles. We have bottles down on the sides. It literally was being dragged across the shelf. Couldn't explain it. It was to the point where I was like, I would go in for my shift, take a picture of these bottles, go amongst my shift, later check on the bottles, compare to the picture, and they would definitely be like significantly farther over. I got a level. You know those levels where like the tool people use? Tool people? Handyman? Whatever. Those levels. I got one and I put it on the shelf because I was like, there's gotta be a reason, right? Shelf is level. Again, mainstream restaurant. It's not like they could really have things falling apart there. There's no reason for this bottle to move. But then like I kind of started like telling people, and then one of my managers thought it was really funny, so he just like moves it to random places now just to like make it a joke. So I stopped paying attention to that, but it was significant for a while. I would say the most activity happens in the bathrooms. The men's, the women's, the employee restroom. It's a creepy place, especially if you have to use it alone. I actually had a manager who refused to use his bathroom alone. A grown woman who refused to use his bathroom alone. Literally would make like me, a host, one of the kitchen staff, sit outside while she used the restroom, just in case something happened, she had somebody to come out and scream to. I don't know. There's gotta be a reason. Here's a reason. One day, I'm in there, I'm washing my hands, doing my thing, okay? There's a paper towel machine next to me. I'm mid washing my hands, alone in the bathroom. Paper towels get yanked out. And my first thought was, it's automatic. It's like, it sensed me there and it dispensed. But then I thought to myself, they're not automatic. You have to like crank it from the side. And they made it very hard. They like installed it super close to the mirror so you can barely crank it from the side. It's just not an easy thing to accomplish, let alone on its own. So it was weird. I was like, okay, that was weird. I didn't tell anybody though because I don't want to be like that person, especially because I'm already known to be like the person who likes ghosts. So I don't want to be like, oh, there's a ghost in the bathroom. So I didn't say anything. The next day, I'm in there, washing my hands, doing my thing. Yes, I wash my hands a lot. I work in a restaurant. We're supposed to do that. So I'm washing my hands, and this time I'm not alone. There's a host in there next to me, and she's on her phone. I'm washing my hands, and yank, same paper towel machine happens again. She was like, how did that happen? And I was like, I don't know, but it happened to me yesterday. And ever since, she tells that story, I tell that story, it's relevant. And for it to like never happen again after happening 2 days in a row. Now the back bathroom, that one I don't normally use, just because it's hard to get to. It's just quicker for me to use the front. The couple times that I have used it, weird things happen. The most significant time, I was back there and I was doing my thing, and someone came and pounded on the door. And I just thought it was like somebody who really had to pee or something, so I was like, okay, hold on, I'll be right out. Going about my business, still doing my thing, and bang, 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 bang. And I was like, okay, pee right out, I'll see you soon. Doing my business, I'm washing my hands at this point, and bang, 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 bang. And I was like, yo, okay, coming. And I'm drying my hands and throwing the towel away. I reach for the door, literally like hand on doorknob, and bang, 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 bang. I yank it open to be like, whoa, dude, chill. I just had to pee. There was nobody there. And like nobody in the vicinity. You have to like turn this little hallway corner to get back into the kitchen. And for somebody to have knocked as I'm opening the door, there's just no way. Again, weird, but I didn't want to seem like the crazy ghost girl, so I didn't say anything. About like 6 months later though, one of my managers comes up to me and was like, I just had the weirdest experience in the bathroom. And I was like, why? What happened? He continues to tell me the same story. Like, up to the bang, 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 bang as he's reaching for the doorknob. So, weird? Yeah. As I'm retelling these stories, like, a lot of it just doesn't add up. Like, how can you make all these accounts and then say it's just an old building? No. It's a weird place. So many lights. The lights. I can't explain how these lights have a mind of their own. All the lights in the restaurant are connected to one switch. You can't just like turn off the lights in this section, or turn off the lights in this section, turn off the lights in the bar, turn off the lights in the lobby. No, they're all connected, okay? Keep that in mind. Last year, graduation season. That draws in a very late crowd. We close at 10, they show up at 9:45. Okay, we still have to take these guests. So sure enough, we do. 2 very large parties, 2 different sections, okay? The lights go out in just those 2 sections. Just those 2 sections. How? Why? It was to the point where these guests were so mad. They thought we were trying to kick them out. But like, really, we can't even control it. My managers couldn't even turn the lights back on in order to show these people like we're not doing this on purpose. And that's what I mean by the lights have a mind of their own. Now, this next story I should save for another video, but I'm not going to because it fits so perfectly in the category of the lights. So we have those little machines where you can pay and you can order and things like that. Okay, so one night I was really bored and I was walking around the restaurant and there was a closed section, and I walked by the closed section and all those machines were like tilted on their sides and like teeter-tottering, but like all facing each other. It was like it was just weird. I'm at this restaurant a lot, and so when I see things out of place and weird like that, like I instantly notice and I instantly question it. But then I kind of figured, okay, maybe the host did that. That's their side job, to take those batteries out. So I was like, whatever. That host comes up to me later and is like, what happened in the 20? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, the machines, like, why are they like that? And I was like, I thought you did that. And he was like, I didn't do that. I was like, you're joking. And he's like, I swear. Another server comes up and she's like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? So he was like, okay, let me show you. He like starts to walk over there to show her, and they're like halfway there when the lights turn off. And they start in that section and they go boom, 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 boom throughout the sections, all of them. And then eventually the whole restaurant goes out besides the bar and the kitchen. I don't know. And not even my managers can explain it. And that's where like it's solidified for me, because like these are grown men and women who deal with these things on a daily basis, and then when those little odd things happen, they just can't explain it. You know, like when weird things happen and your parents, like, they have an answer for it. It's a creaky house, it's the house settling, it's the pipes. They don't have an answer. They don't have an answer for the reason why the lights do the things they do. Yes, it's an old building, but like, what a coincidence. There's just no way. So that is it for my restaurant being haunted for now. In the next video, I will give you a little background of why my life is haunted. Until then, I will scare you in the next video.